Hello, it's John Labman, and welcome to Simply Awake. This is our laboratory for liberation. And today is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025, and it's 4:15 p.m. here in Eastern Pennsylvania. Welcome again. Today I just want to talk about the very simplest things, which are really just opening your eyes and ears and your senses and sitting in the midst of the clock chiming, the sounds in your room, wherever you are, perhaps the sounds outside if you're in a city or near traffic, the feeling of your body, your seat as it sits on the chair, your back as it leans in the chair, all the senses that make up your felt contact with reality. Now, if you take all the labels off the names of the senses, and you take all the labels off what the senses are sensing, you have the beginning of an experience of liberation. This alleged separate individual is really not able to be separated other than by concept, construct, thought, or idea from everything, everywhere, all the time, to name the title of a movie. But really, liberation is about the felt experience of being one with all that is, and realizing that you are not limited by the chattering voice in your head that says, I am separate from this, and this is separate from me, and I am isolated and alone, surrounded by a body made of skin and bone. All of that is left brain language to try to make sense of a moment by moment felt experience of being one with all that is. We have been taught with words to make a map out of this so-called reality and to separate one thing from the next. My hand is different from the glass, is different from the wall, is different from the tapestry in front of me. My ears are separate from the sounds that they're hearing. I have an awareness, even in spiritual language, we're taught to use this construct that there is an awareness separate from everything that it's aware of. There's an awareness that's sensing everything arising. Except if you go looking for the experience of an awareness separate from arising phenomena, you won't find it. So eventually, when we're talking about liberation, we're talking about the elimination of all words, all understandings, even of what this is. And sense of not even merging, because that would imply that there is something to merge, but a sense of continuity, if you will, between everything that we think of with these words as inside me and everything outside me. And liberation is a lived, felt understanding that the words mean nothing, that the mystery is unfathomable. I can point you to these words, or rather use these words to point you to something, but that thing you've been swimming around in all your life. It's, you might say, the feeling of being alive and of being inseparable from everything that you're looking at. And for some people that's terrifying, because they believe that they're the little chattering voice in their head, and that little chattering voice can control anything they want to control. But anybody with any age or any experience knows that's a lot of hooey. otherwise known as BS, right? The mind doesn't really control much of anything. It can't even control what thoughts it dreams up. So what happens in the liberation process, which to me is an ongoing, if we have to name it, we're going to call it a process, is that it becomes more and more obvious that all ideas and words are false. And there was a pause there. And again, a lot of pauses now. Not because I'm inarticulate, but because the pause, the cessation of words, makes it obvious that you're swimming in something you've been swimming in all your life. And that is something that we might call God, or just this, but no word really is going to do it justice. A word is just another concept. Notice the felt sense of reality, the sense information, the awareness that really isn't separate from that sense information, but that sort of infuses it with life. And that noticing is moving you in the direction of the liberation that's been yours all of your life. You've just been too preoccupied with the words and definitions and meanings to notice it. And that's all from this named person over here that we call John, in this named place that we call Hollycong, Pennsylvania, and an agreed upon consensual reality-based time that we call about 4:30 in the afternoon on a so-called Wednesday in a so-called year of 2025. That's how very subjective and superficial our understanding is. All of this stuff is just agreed upon. Says who? For what reason? By whose authority? And what is reality? John Labman signing out for today.